Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of ClearPitch. My name is Tori Pachin. I work at Clearco and I lead our partner marketing division. And I will be your moderator and host for the next hour and a half. So as everyone's tuning in and the stream's getting live on our channels, I'm just going to explain a little bit about why we're here today because this is a very special edition of ClearPitch. So today's ClearPitch is hosted in collaboration with an incredible partner of ours, FounderMade. It's also in honor of our inaugural FounderU by Clearco Business School. And I'll get more into that in a little bit. So Clearco's been working with FounderMade for over 2 years now, helping their community of 40,000 plus D2C founders and entrepreneurs across the world really access the funding they need to grow at scale. Since we've been working together, Clearco's deployed over 20 million in equity-free capital to members of the FounderMade community. We've hosted over 10 events at a variety of FounderMade shows and summits. And today, our ClearPitch, as I mentioned, is in honor of our FounderU by Clearco Business School. So what is that? This year, Clearco and FounderMade launched FounderU, an online business school for e-commerce founders to learn from world-class leaders and experts within the D2C space. We had over 300 founders apply to join the program and hand-selected our first cohort of 60 founders who joined us and FounderMade for 12 weeks of courses, curated by Clearco and FounderMade and the incredible partners and founders within our ecosystem. So today we celebrate the graduating class, all our incredible FounderU by Clearco founders. We're so thrilled to have you join us. And for this ClearPitch, we actually selected 3 finalists from the FounderU by Clearco cohort based on their rapid growth throughout the program, innovation in their respective verticals, and excellence in online performance. So today, each finalist will have 10 minutes to pitch their business, followed by Q&A from our incredible panel of judges who we'll introduce very soon. But first, let's hear a little bit about these finalists. We have Jamie Washburn, Juliet Porter, and David Kelleher, co-founders of Jmp the Label. So established in 2021 by MTV star Juliet Porter, Jmp the Label is a premier designer swimwear and apparel brand. Jmp the Label's boutique luxe collections reimagine swimwear for all purposes. From the beach to the bar and beyond, each piece is thoughtfully designed to fit every woman, man, and child. Second, we'll have Leda Rasakova, founder and CEO of Dermala. So Dermala is a San Diego-based consumer dermatology startup working at the intersection of biology, technology, and big data. Dermala leverages the human microbiome to develop the next generation of personalized natural treatments and skincare products for chronic skin conditions and skin wellness. And personal favorite, Dermala launched the hashtag FOBO, fear of breaking out, acne product line to market in June 2021 and eczema products in May of 2022. And our third finalist today is Daniela Chabel, founder of Daniela Chabel. After obtaining her business degree at USC, Daniela moved to New York to chase her fashion dreams, a girl after my own heart. Daniela Chabel is a direct-to-consumer luxury footwear brand that focuses on comfort, functionality, and uniquely beautiful design. Each pair is handcrafted in Italy and Brazil and made from soft Italian Napa leather with hand-threaded fine Napa leather laces. So very, very warm welcome to our finalists. And now let's talk a bit about the prize package, and I swear I'll be off the screen very soon. So our winning finalists today will walk away with a variety of tools and services to put towards their business growth. This includes $10,000 in cash from Clearco and some really incredible prizes from FounderMade, who is co-hosting this ClearPitch with us. So FounderMade will be giving away featured brand spotlights across their marketing channels, a VIP ticket and gift bag for FounderMade's Discovery Show East on June 24th. And for their Discovery Show West event, which is taking place, I believe, in September, the winning finalists will be provided a 5x12 booth to showcase their product and speak with incredible buyers and founders who attend all of FounderMade's events. So it is time to meet our judges. I'm going to bring them up one by one to the stage to introduce themselves and why they're excited to be here. So Melanie Travis, founder and CEO of Andie Swim, you're up.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I'm Melanie, I'm the founder and CEO of Andie, as you just said, a global direct-to-consumer swimwear brand for women. Andie is about 5 years old, so, I don't know if you consider that new or aged, I guess aged in this crew. And we've raised about $30 million over the years, including participation from Clearco, a company we love to work with, of course. I'm excited to hear these pitches and participate.
Great. Thanks so much. Thrilled to have you, Melanie. Next up, I'm going to bring to the stage Garry Johnson.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. I am also excited to be here, excited to be a Clearco scout as well. I'm Garry. I'm the founder and executive director of a small nonprofit called First Founders, Inc., where we're on a mission to build a more equitable and inclusive startup ecosystem. So we currently support a global community of about 300 entrepreneurs and help them gain access to capital and other resources necessary to grow. So I'm looking forward to hearing some awesome pitches.
Thanks, Garry. So happy to have you with us today. Third judge today, Tiffany Johnson.
Hi everyone, I'm Tiffany Johnson. I'm the founder of Built for Launch, which is a social enterprise focused on leveling the playing field for underrepresented founders and startups. I'm also the head of the underrepresented founder startups on the AWS Activate team, as well as the creator of Amazon's $150 million Black Business Accelerator. Through Built for Launch, we've been able to aggregate millions of dollars in resources to underserved startups. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. And last but certainly not least, Eric Schnell, the founder of Beyond Brands.
Happy Friday, everybody. Super excited to be here. What an awesome group today assembled with this presentation. I'm 25 years in the natural products industry. Been a 6-time founder. Founded the brand Steez, which is the first organic soft drink company in the United States in 2002. I had a run in beverage for a few years after that, and some other brands, as well as founded Good Catch, the first plant-based vegan seafood brand in 2016. And I own an agency in New York City that strategically consults to work with young entrepreneurs and help them get launched. So super excited to be here.
Thank you, Eric. An incredible experience that you have. We have a very awesome panel of judges today. So thank you, Melanie, Garry, Tiffany, and Eric for being here with us. And we're going to get right into it, dive into our first pitch. So Jmp the Label, you're up. Good luck.
Hi, everyone. We are Jmp the Label. We also call ourselves Jmp the Label. We're a contemporary designer swimwear, apparel, and lifestyle brand. Our focus is fashionable, on-trend styles that we market in a body-positive and inclusive way. We want to feel confident, so we create swimwear and apparel focused on quality, fit, and with eco-conscious production at top of mind. We want all women and men to feel confident in swimwear and truly believe every body is a swim body. I know that I have to feel comfortable to feel confident, so we focus on making sure the suits fit so that our customers can feel this way too. So who are we? Jmp stands for Juliet Marie Porter. That's me. I am the lead of MTV's Siesta Key. I'm an influencer, content creator, and I won 2021's Best Emerging Fashion Influencer Award. I'm a Florida girl, always in bikinis, which translated to being passionate about swimwear. I met Jamie through a friend on the show because she was the designer and factory behind so many of the swimwear brands I was always wearing.
Hi, I'm Jamie Washburn. I've spent nearly 30 years as a designer in the apparel industry with a focus on swimwear and lingerie. I've been the lead designer at companies like Beach Bunny Swimwear, Honeydew Intimates, Frankie's Bikinis, and I've designed collections with celebrities like the Kardashians, Emily Ratajkowski, Kate Upton, Haley Steinfeld, and more. I'm co-owner in a Balinese factory where we produce our swimwear. And my factory is known for our high quality, eco-friendly, and ethical manufacturing. We've produced some of the hottest contemporary brands out there, and our client list includes Stone Fox Swimwear, Frankie's Bikinis, Agua Bendita, Anina Bing, Inamorata Swim, Beach Bunny Swimwear, and many more. So you could say I know a little bit about a bikini. I'm personally passionate about inclusive sizing. I spent most of my career designing for companies where at a size 12 to 14, I was unable to ever wear my own designs because of sizing limitations. And women like me were never featured in our ads or social media. So I'm thrilled to finally be bringing these changes to the swimwear industry through Jmp. Juliet and I knew that we were the creative end of the equation. So we needed a person that knows how to build and scale a company, which led us to the one and only David Kelleher.
Hi, I'm David Kelleher. I'm an operations executive, and I previously managed television production companies with over 100 million in revenue, overseeing production, operations, and business affairs. Before that, I built another company from 0 to 30 million in under 3 years. I have a passion for building businesses and creating teams that succeed. I'm used to overseeing a staff north of 200 people, negotiating, buying, and selling businesses, and dealing with celebrities and C-suite executives. I'm an avid learner, tech enthusiast, and an entrepreneur at heart. So this is us. We are the dream team. We work remarkably well together, and we have the utmost respect for each other, and together hit all of the major facets of any company: research and design, marketing, and operations. But enough about us. Let's talk about the company. Jmp the Label launched in March of 2021. When we first started the company, we didn't quite know what the response was going to be. We began by bringing in 3 collections and around 2,000 units of inventory. We launched those collections in March, and we sold out in 24 hours, with one of the collections selling out in 15 minutes. I know, we should have brought in more inventory. Our 4th collection was another 100,000 units, released in April, and again sold out in 24 hours. We knew that this now had potential, but we still didn't know how much. We reinvested our profits, and we slowly increased our orders for future collections and restocks. In 2021, we launched 16 collections.
That's right. We were off to a really exciting start, but let me tell you where we are now. To date, we've launched 29 collections in the 15 months we've been in business. We feel that the more frequent drops bring our customer back to the website looking for new items. And in that same 15-month timeframe, we've generated $2 million in revenue. We were profitable in our first year, and we are definitely on track to be profitable our second year. We have an incredibly low 12% return rate. Industry standard is 20 to 30% in apparel, and it's even higher in swimwear. We have a solid Instagram and TikTok following with amazing engagement. We have a very healthy and active email and SMS list. And the amount of people that come back to us for another purchase is about 33%. And we have almost 10,000 loyal customers.
So let's talk about the customers. Our customers are primarily female between the ages of 18 and 45. Our Jmp babes are trendsetters and have a love of fashion. They are focused on quality products that last and care about the environment. They're less interested in fast fashion and want to support companies that have the same values as them. She is confident and social. She loves to spend time with her family and friends. She is responsible for her life and wants the best for herself. And she's willing to do what it takes to achieve that. She is active on social media and in real life. Whether at the beach, traveling the world, or relaxing in a pool, she is living her best life. So basically, I'm our customer.
I'm also our customer too, and I feel amazing in our suits. But don't take it from me. Let's read what some of our customers are saying about Jmp. We have over 800 5-star reviews, and I'm not going to read all of the reviews, but this one stands out to me. Best bathing suit, so worth the price. The material and fit is perfect. Loved how they showed different body types on the models, so it was really easy to pick out my size. Can't wait to buy more. There's so many reviews like this on our site. It's a testament to the work we've done on the quality and the fit of our garments. Our mission is to create and lead the story around body positivity. We do this by showcasing inclusive models without labeling them as plus sized. I'm a size 14. I don't want to shop in a special section of a store or a website. I don't want to have boring suits that aren't trendy. I am the same fashionista as a size 6, and I want to feel that way. By showing gorgeous women of all sizes, we're changing the conversation. We strive to feature photos that are not edited to be a perfect image. We have curves and rolls, dimples. It's all natural and it's all beautiful. We're passionate about treating ourselves better. And we're also very focused on treating the earth better. Jmp makes a conscious effort to reduce our negative impact on the environment. We use packaging that is reusable or compostable and focus our production to have the lowest carbon footprint possible. Our fibers many of them are also recycled. We're constantly curious and learning how to improve these sustainability measures.
So what do we actually make? We started our journey making swimwear. Our customers were excited about our brand, and every time Juliet styled an outfit or wore a hat, they would ask if that was Jmp. This made us quickly realize that they wanted more. We brought in curated collections of hats, sunglasses, bags, and cover-ups, focusing on stylish beachwear. When the seasons began to change, we launched our winter loungewear and continued to expand apparel. Earlier this year, we launched our first journey into activewear, and we have more categories and styles planned for this year.
Let me tell you a little bit about the opportunity in my favorite industry. The global swimwear market is a $21 billion market, and it's expected to be $28 billion by 2024. A staggering statistic is 67% of Americans are size 16 or higher, but only 15% of the apparel market is made in extended sizing. There's a huge opportunity to bring fashionable contemporary swim to this market space. You can see from our slide some of the amazing brands, some I had something to do with, some that one of our esteemed judges had something to do with, that are making major moves in the swimwear industry. Here are some of the other successful contemporary brands that are in our space. Most of these that we have listed are influencer founders, and each of these has carved out an amazing business in this swim industry.
So then what sets us apart? Well, we design thinking of our inclusive sizing. We don't just design for a size small and grade up. Part of our special sauce is that I represent one side of the size spectrum and Jamie represents the other. We have multiple models come in for fittings to make sure the fit is spot on. Jamie owns the factory we produce in. This allows us to ensure the quality of our fabric and suits are top notch and ensures a speed to market that is remarkably fast, allowing us to have frequent drops and new collections. Our crochet pieces have been a bestseller and are handmade by almost all female employees who are able to support their families through our factory's ethical production standards. As mentioned, our return rate is exceptionally low at 12%. But in the instance that someone has to return something, they speak to our staff directly. We are constantly receiving social media messages telling us how incredible our customer service is. Because I've opened up my life on a reality show on MTV, I am now an influencer, and that means I have an engaged following who want to see me succeed. I have PR and magazine requests that are constantly coming in, and that gives me an opportunity to talk about JMP, as well as having the brand featured on MTV. Some of the press we had that I'm really excited about in our first year was Sports Illustrated, as well as Forbes. We were in E! News several times, and celebrities were seen wearing our product in the Daily Mail. Editorialists even mentioned us for our sustainability efforts. We also won Startup of the Year by industry ERP leader Apparel Magic.
A little bit about our marketing strategy. We started with a remarkable fan base in Juliet's following. We knew that they would start by being a fan of Juliet, and then we would win them over by the quality of our pieces. In our first 8 months, we grew to 3,200 customers. We then wanted to branch out and reach a larger demographic, so we began advertising on Instagram. We continued building our audience in the meta world, and in January, created an affiliate and influencer program. As of this month, we began Google and TikTok ads, and we will do more influencer and celebrity collaborations next year to continue our growth. Our net revenue for 2021, which was only 9 months of sales, ended at 1.1 million, and we have almost exceeded that in our first 5 months of 2022. Our goal for this year is 2.3 million, with a goal of 10 million by 2025. Our average order is $157, and our lifetime value per customer is about $256, keeping in mind that our metrics only go back 15 months. We've sent out more than 16,000 orders and 30,000 units with 9,500 customers and a customer acquisition cost of about $41.
So what does the future hold? Here's our roadmap to growth, and we've broken it up into 3 pillars. Product. We're looking at ways to grow our product assortment. We're having conversations with our customer base and finding out what they want from JMP. We're analyzing our sales and going deeper into our best sellers to capitalize on proven styles. We're expanding our assortments for fall and winter to ensure year-round sales. We'll focus on our growth in offering a mindful way of doing grading that fits up to size 5X. And we plan to collaborate with influencers on product launches where they bring ideas and opinions and they're not just a pretty face.
When it comes to marketing, we understand that 97% of our audience is in the US, and we know there's a large world out there that we have to be speaking to. We also plan to expand our marketing into other countries by identifying specific interests and needs. We strive to be more than just an online presence, and we want to connect with customers in real life and create a community people feel comfortable in and where they feel seen. For example, through pop-up shops and other social events. We also have plans of creating a podcast where we host conversations about body positivity, social media, and mental wellness. We have the interesting perspective of hearing from women of all ages about their thoughts and feelings about themselves. Swimwear can be a really vulnerable piece of clothing, and it really opens the conversation about self-love.
As far as operations are concerned, we're constantly looking to improve our tech stack, adding tech that allows us to better serve our customer, including loyalty programs, better sizing technology, and a more customizable experience. We're going to redesign our website to be local to other countries, which includes offering local payment methods. While we also plan on remaining largely D2C, we want to strategically develop wholesale partnerships with key boutiques and other online partners. We also want to identify top-selling markets and expand our distribution within those countries. Lastly, we want to further expand our small team, both in increasing their hours, as many of them are part-time, and add a couple of positions to help us achieve our growth. And where would we really be without our amazing team? We could not have done any of this without these individuals, and we really think they deserve to be recognized. Our amazing marketing director, Katie, responsible for growing our customer base, our merchandising planner, Renee, who helps us figure out exactly how much inventory to order, Rhonda and Lauren, who create all of our content and help us figure out and are responsible for everything you see on our social media. Jen handles all of our beautiful graphics within our emails and our website. Maddie is the best customer service rep you could ever hope to receive anything from, and nothing would get to us or leave our warehouse without Corey. Most of our team works with us part-time, and as we expand, I hope to be able to bring them on in a more full-time capacity. So that's it. That's Jmp the Label. We appreciate you all taking the time to hear about us and allowing us to be a part of the FounderMade and Clearco program. Thank you.
Incredible. David, Jamie, Juliet, thank you so much. So it's an incredible brand that you've built, and excited to see where you're going to take it over the next few years. Of course, we're going to bring on our judges to ask some questions, and no one who knows the swimsuit industry better than Melanie. So Melanie, you're up first for Judge Q&A.
Awesome. Super impressive. First of all, like everything you guys just talked about, I'm pretty blown away. Like the initial traction, the volume, the profit. I mean, your metrics are incredible. They are way better than Andie's was our first year. So kudos to you guys. That is no small feat. Super impressive.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I guess a couple questions. One, it sounds like you have a great structure owning the factory, so it keeps you, really vertically integrated. What does that mean for your margin? And your CAC is pretty good too. What kind of like gross margins, I guess, are you working with?
David, do you want to take that, Mr. Finance?
Yeah, so we keep the businesses completely separate. So where Jamie has the factory, that is, the prices that we pay for swimsuits are similar and in line with similar and in line with any of her other clients. Our gross margins are about 80%. Swimwear. And then it goes it just depends on the piece. Yeah.
That's great. I guess that's probably one of the reasons you're able to achieve your profitability like that. Related, also curious, your mix of, sounds like obviously you have a ton of organic traction, Juliet, given who you are and what you're able to do, which is great. What is the mix of, like, how much are you also putting into the paid performance channels, or is it really largely still just organic traction that's driving the business?
I would say it's growing with each month. We started Facebook advertising in September of last year, and the idea behind that was we're kind of starting at a time where it's not our peak season, right? As you know. So I wanted to identify who the market was via Facebook and Instagram, and that way we had those markets kind of tuned in when we got into our peak market. Yep. We've started to increase. And my biggest question is how much to spend on Facebook and Instagram marketing and Google and TikTok and all of these different marketing channels. We definitely see an uptick when the show is airing. We definitely see an uptick when Juliet is wearing the swimwear. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that I don't have an exact metric for what has come organically anymore versus what is new, but our focus now is bringing in new customers.
That makes a ton of sense. Makes sense also why you'd be here. So awesome. I think I was only allowed 2 questions. If I'm allowed a third one, I would ask what your mother. Nope.
Go ahead. No. I love the Q&A. So one more question.
Like, what do you think your biggest challenge is now to really scale? What is like the biggest thing?
Do you want me to take that?
Go ahead, David. I think we're going to say the same thing, but you go ahead.
I mean, honestly, I think the biggest thing to scale is the biggest challenge to scale is figuring out our marketing strategy and figuring out how much we can be spending in order to achieve profitability. We are not venture backed, so there's a real concern that we have to remain profitable, right?
Sure.
And we want that until the point where somebody's coming to us and saying, we really want to back you and let's grow this much faster than you can do organically. Shipping over the last couple of years has been difficult, but manageable. Our factory is amazing and able to produce our swimwear. And it's about figuring out how we grow and whether or not the factory can continue to serve us as we grow. So I think we'll run into the same challenges that you have probably run into and many other businesses have run into.
Yeah.
But we're up for it and we're really interested in growing.
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, great pitch. I'm like fired up and super inspired. My first question is about your competitive landscape. Can you share a little bit more about what truly, differentiates yourselves in the market?
Well, I'll take this one because I think I know a little bit about the competitors, considering I produce and design many of our competitors' swimwear. One thing that I think is really different is our size inclusivity and also our inclusivity in general. We really like to feature people that are underrepresented. So that matters to people. People come to us now knowing that about us. I think that's really special and different. It's not something that was just added on as we want to be in the know right now. It's part of the DNA of who we are. But also fit is everything nowadays, especially when people are ordering things online. To stay profitable, you don't want to have a ton of returns. And I have a lot of experience in fitting garments. And so that experience really has allowed us to maintain a low return rate and make sure that the fits are really spot on. We also have because of Juliet, we have a great relationship with our customer, and they talk to us, they tell us what they want. They're very vocal. Mm-hmm. And that's really different than any of the brands that I work with. They don't have this like really direct relationship with their client. Our clients will tell us if something is not fitting perfect, they'll write to us and say, ask Jamie what she thinks I should wear. And I respond, because it's really important to me that people are finding swimwear that shows off how they feel and how confident they can be. So I think that those elements all kind of work to separate us from the pack. We're very focused on the customer, the experience, but also on making sure we're representing a lot of people.
Awesome. Love it. My last question is around your lifetime value for those customers. Can you speak to your strategy around increasing that lifetime value and maybe any sort of revenue projections you have for the next couple of years?
Yeah. So, I mean, our lifetime value is really, it's set by the 15 months that we've been in business right now. Right. So, but, our goal is to continue to grow, continue to bring in more categories and offer cover-ups, offer dresses, and a bunch of different types of both swimwear and apparel. What was the second part of your question? Sorry.
No worries. If you had any
projections,
any revenue projections, yeah, you could share.
Yes, I'm happy to go over those. I mean, our long growth is, we want to be at $10 million in revenue in about 3 years, 2025.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job. I'm impressed by the milestone Jmp the Label has been able to accomplish. Sold out in 24 hours. That's amazing. And I definitely need to get myself one of your swimwears. So I have two questions for you. I got a gist of your production model and how production is going. With such high rate of purchase orders and your gross merchant sales, I'm curious to learn a bit more about your fulfillment optimization process.
Is that going to be you, David, or me? So we really, at this point, we have our own warehouse. It's a privately owned warehouse, so we fulfill out of our own warehouse. We are currently looking into, 3PLs and other programs that we can go into. The lucky thing that we have on our site is that currently we're not selling to wholesale, so it is all very single customer shipments. And so our goal is to really build out our own private warehouse and look as we continue to fulfill year over year to see that that is still a profitable way to go. We certainly know that it works well as far as the customer, how happy the customer is. That is one thing we hear. They get their shipments quickly and they are really happy with the return process and everything. But of course, as we grow and we scale, we are looking at the opportunities in 3PLs and optimizing our fulfillment and making sure that it's a little bit more automated. But at this point, we do plan for the next year or so to at least keep it private, and then look at it every year as we move forward.
Got it. And then lastly, just thinking about the future as inflation prepares for a long run, cost of production will likely increase, and it probably already has. What is your plan for production to minimize costs for customers?
So luckily, I get to kind of work on both sides of this, right? So I know the ways that we can reduce the cost to my factory, or from my factory rather, is more units. And luckily, we're now at a place where we're able to order a lot more units. And we also have a large library of styles that are very proven for us now. So the goal is to go deeper into proven styles so that we can give the right kind of units to our factories so that we can maintain our prices there. Of course, there's also the skyrocketing cost of shipping and all of the things. So what we really try to do is keep a lot of our production and everything that goes into it, trims, fabrications, all of those things, localized, not only for the lower carbon footprint, but because that then reduces the cost that shipping can raise on our final price.
Awesome. Thank you guys, and all the best to you three.
Thank you so much.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
There's so much right about this brand. There's so much to still be told, I believe, in your story. I'm sitting in my wife's QVC home studio right now. She 25 years ago basically coined the term eco fashion. Her brands are on QVC and sold in retail stores under MetaWear and Yes And. So although I've been pioneering my whole career in organic beverages and food, she's been doing the same in eco fashion. I could totally validate your plus size. QVC last year launched her Seed to Style brand. Plus was everything about it, but also source to story. And I think this bodily relationship you have, the supply chain there, and Jamie, I watched your video. It's coming to life with the compostable packaging, the recycled yarn. My first question is, there's so much more possibly to go into the sustainability side of your business to really tie the story beautifully together for the end consumer. Have you thought of things like organic textiles, and have you thought of things like maybe being certified by GOTS, the Global Organic Textile Standards, as maybe your first step into kind of the stamp of approval to give that cred for the brand?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So one of the challenges of swimwear is that they are man-made fibers. We are using nylon, we're using Lycra, and it is challenging. So I'm constantly looking. This is something that's very dear to my heart. I have children, and I want to make sure that this world is beautiful for them. And so we're constantly looking into new ways to expand our sustainability, whether it's recycled fibers or perhaps it's fibers made from, I'm actually, to be honest, staying away from the water bottle recycle thing, because we're all finding out it's not quite what we thought it was. So staying up, and I'm sure you obviously know this, staying up on what is possible in sustainability, and also what is really a valid way of being sustainable, because I have no interest in claiming sustainability unless it's actually proven and it really is making a difference. As far as organic textiles, our apparel, we absolutely want to be using organic textiles. Currently, we don't do a ton of natural fibers in anything really, but we do have them slated for design. And it's something that's very important to me that we can get those stamp of approvals, and that we are staying very transparent about where we get our fabric and where things are made. Absolutely. And I will tell you, we're constantly, I would love to talk to you offline about this, but we're constantly talking about ways that we can make a difference. And sometimes that means we choose the higher price item, or we choose a trim that is, made locally, because I don't want to fly it from China to Bali.
Sure.
So we're looking at the little ways that are maybe the unspoken ways that we are trying to be more sustainable, and we're not maybe celebrating it as much, but we as a team are really making those decisions with being eco-friendly in mind.
That's awesome. And I'll definitely make an introduction to you offline. She's on the Global Textile Exchange board, so she would probably love to help you guys. And Juliet, I've got to give you credit. Similar to my wife, again, she struck equity partnerships with both her farmers, the actual farms in India, as well as manufacturers throughout India that could produce her supply chain to keep up with demand. Didn't start with multiple manufacturers. Now it is, because the brand's done so well. What question for you? What happens if you max out capacity in Jamie's manufacturing plant in Bali? Is there another one? When this is a global brand, maybe at $100 million company? I know David said 10 million, but if you're getting to 10 million, most VCs will see you as a $100 million brand with the right capital behind you. So if you're a $100 million brand in 10 years, is that all done in Bali, or does that expand? And how do you think about that?
Well, we're actually looking to produce in other factories right now, because we do plan on expanding a little bit. Jamie knows a lot more about her factory than I will. I'll let her touch on that more, but that's the plan, would be to find other areas maybe closer to the US, so that we can kind of keep our footprint lower and produce there. But mainly it's Bali right now, and in the future other things may come up.
Right on.
I think
Well,
just to add on to that, we're looking at other factories with fabric in mind as well, so that we can import fabrics from Europe and we don't have to send them all the way to Bali. So if we have a European factory, or we have a South American factory, we all want them to have the same standards that Jamie's factory has, but her factory has limitations, as you said. Like, if we're going to be that $100 million business, I think we're all well aware that we have to branch out.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And I'll just leave you with, because I've been through many Series A rounds before. It'll be interesting as you guys think about the future, as you have so many, lines now, not just swimwear. You've got the accessories and the clothing and everything else. What ultimately does that future board that you have in those investors, the lead investors, really think about is what gets you to 100 million? Is it the whole portfolio, or do they tell you to kind of shrink down and focus on one or two things and own that first? That'll be interesting. I'm sure, right now there's a lot of opportunity. Your margins are good, so you could probably do a lot. But as you get those investors around a board table, I'm sure you may have a little bit of SKU proliferation with so much so early. It'd just be interesting to think about that over time.
Yeah, and we're aware of that. And I also think that it's helpful to have that data now as well, right? We can talk about what we've done and what has resonated with our customer and not. So,
it's like your proof of concept here. You can test it all and then get the data that they'll need. Well, great job, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, David, Jamie, Juliet. Incredible pitch. Very good Q&A. So we're going to bring on our second finalist now. We've got Leda Rasakova from Dermala. Good luck, Leda.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lada, and I am the founder and a CEO of Dermala. Dermala is a consumer dermatology company. We develop treatments for for chronic skin conditions that are science-based, personalized, microbiome-powered, and clinically validated and patented. We are a spin-out from University of California in San Diego, and we actually developed our technology in JLabs, which is an incubator, startup incubator of Johnson & Johnson. Here is our team, and we are, I am the founder. I have a COO and co-founder Michelle, and Alex Alim, who is CTO and co-founder, and he takes care of software and data analytics. We focus on chronic skin conditions. Our main product is for acne, but we also do products, microbiome-driven products for eczema and skin aging. What differentiates us is that we use the human microbiome, we personalize our products, and that helps us to achieve better results. The reason why we use the microbiome is because the microbiome is often the underlying defect in various skin conditions like acne. And we use the microbiome ingredients that correct that defect in both skin and gut. We personalize our products because the treatments for various skin conditions typically don't work for everyone. We say one size doesn't fit all. So what we do is we personalize the products both initially as well as monthly based on the actual individual outcomes. And that gets us to better results. So if you look at acne, almost everybody has acne, and there are definitely current treatments on the market, but they don't really work well. They don't work for everyone. When they don't work because, first of all, they don't correct that microbiome dysbiosis that I told you about. That is the underlying problem in acne. So what we did is we spent a long time in the lab doing the experiments, understanding what happens in acne, understanding the microbiome dysbiosis in both skin and gut, and figuring out what are the different ingredients that we can identify from the microbiome, the prebiotic, postbiotics, and probiotics that could correct that microbiome dysbiosis. Because we have this technology that is science-driven, that is very new, we were actually able to patent this technology, and today we have we have 4 patents actually issued, utility patent issues, and more patents pending. We also validated our technology in clinical trials. So this is what you see on the screen are results of our randomized control double-blinded clinical trial that we did. And in this trial, we compared our formulation to the products on the market. I am happy to say that we outperformed the formulation on the market in every single criteria, everything from the number of acne lesions to acne severity to inflammation, as well as state of the skin, and we did it without causing side effects. Many current treatments cause side effects because they contain very harsh chemicals. This is our product lineup. We have both topical and oral products. We personalize these products, so we have a number of different formulations in each product category. And in addition to products, we developed skin test as well as our acne tracker app that our customers use to track their treatment progress and Then we use the data to personalize their treatment next month. And here is how it works. So the customer comes to our website and they take a skin quiz. Based on the data, we then personalize their first kit that we mail them. And the customer then tracks their treatment progress via taking selfies and answering questions on the app, taking the skin tests. And we use that data to then optimize both the formulation as well as product assortment for their next month. We have thousands of satisfied customers that really love their mala and leave us great reviews on the website, as well as tell us that they have tried everything else on the market without success, and they finally got results with their mala. This is, at the end, the bottom line is how do we do in the market? So we launched the market in June of last year, and we experience consistent month-to-month growth. We are currently at more than $200,000 revenue a month, 2.5 million recurring revenue annually. And because our best customer is a subscriber, we also track our subscription growth. And again, we have a very strong subscription growth. We started our brand as an online store, DTC, but our plan is to become an omni-channel brand. We have competition. There are definitely other acne treatments on the market, whether they are old brands, new direct-to-consumer brands, or even new microbiome brands or digital health brands. However, we have that microbiome science that is patented and delivers much better effectiveness compared to other brands on the market. We do the personalization and continuous optimization of the products and formulations, which other brands don't do. And we designed it in such a way that we are able to maintain low cost of manufacturing. Our manufacturing margins are over 85%, and we have a simple supply chain. Our business model is subscription, which delivers those recurring revenue, which is so important. We now have 4 patents granted, number of other patents pending, and in addition to that, we also got number of industry recognitions and awards. So, for example, we got a Holy Grail Acne Award from Cosmopolitan last year, and we also won a competition at CES for our personalization technology, both from Colgate and Johnson & Johnson. Thank you so much for your attention, and I am happy to take your questions.
Congrats, Lada. That growth is incredible. You've built such an incredible brand. I'm very excited for you.
Thank you very much.
Of course, we're going to bring in our judges for the Q&A, starting with Eric.
Well, Lada, congrats that a scientist, a chemist, and a software engineer has pulled off working with global multinational companies from the outset that seem like they're either your incubator, accelerator, or partners, which is incredible. So I don't know how you pulled it all together. It's probably too much for this call, but I'd love to hear the story because it's quite remarkable. In the 90s, I was on the executive committee of a brand called Desert Essence, which was jojoba oil and tea tree oil. So I have experience in building a $20 million brand and exiting it at about year 15. My question kind of pertaining to that is, with the growth you're having, obviously it's going to need to be funding behind it. The omni-channel strategy will be totally probably out of the realm that the 3 of you founders are used to operating in when it comes to building the brand at retail or an omni-channel environment. What do those conversations sound like with these global partners? Are they going to take it over from you and then run with it and put their CO in to do that? And you guys are kind of the starter? Or like, you just kind of walk through high level how that looks?
So, right now we are a true startup. We are 5 people team, but we are, because of our results and our technology and the patented ingredients that we have behind our brand that really deliver results that are much better than what's on the market, we are venture funded. And we are venture funded by investors like Johnson & Johnson, that are leading brand in consumer dermatology, or Saventure, which is the leading expert in microbiome. So we are still an independent company.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeking funding. We are seeking the next round of funding, and our plan is to scale the team, scale, of course, the revenue, scale the product. And we have interest in our brand around the world. We are actually in discussions with international distributors that ran their own independent acne trials, and were able to duplicate our results. So our goal for now is remain an independent company, scale and grow, of course, bringing in additional experts and additional team members, and see where it goes.
So it'd be, similar to the last conversation, a little bit would be interesting to think about as those players that are on the cap table now, they may be small, as they get bigger, maybe participate in future rounds. I'm sure there's conversations that those global international players are going to have are on how this fits into their portfolios respectively. And I would say, because Nestle invested in us at Steez in 2009, it became all about fitting in the Nestle beverage portfolio for the next couple of years to be fully acquired. So it'll be interesting to think about, from your standpoint, what kind of CEO comes in eventually. Does that CEO, he or she, understand that kind of global mission? And how do you maximize? I would say, because you have those kind of players now at the table, if I'm an investor in your business right now, I'd be probably looking at being in and out of this deal in 5 years, just because those folks at the table aren't going to want to pay upwards of a ridiculous multiple. If you continue on this growth path, it'd be easier to acquire while you're under 20 million. So it'd just be really interesting to see how that happens for you. I'd love to follow the story, but congratulations. You've pulled off a lot, the three of you guys, in a short period of time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for such a phenomenal pitch, and great job on all that you've accomplished. I think now more than ever, brands are realizing that beauty and skincare is not a one-size-fits-all. I think customers understood that, but brands didn't. There's the importance of personalized skincare, and I think Jamala has such a huge opportunity here, and I'm excited to see where you guys land over the next few years. Question for you, Lada. What is the total addressable market you plan to achieve, and over what time period do you plan to achieve this?
The market in acne in US is about $7 billion. In eczema is a little larger, it's $11 billion. And in skin wellness, where we also want to do into which all those three verticals have really microbiome component that nobody addressed before. So the skin wellness anti-aging products are about $40 billion. So our plan was to start with acne, and we started with acne because we understood it the most at the science level, and we could measure it very, very easily because when you do clinical trial, you count the pimples to know does it work or not. Our next vertical is eczema, which we actually launched to market in May. And that is another area where the current treatments are steroid-based. They don't really work very well. People are not getting results, and their quality of life is really, really disrupted. So that's our next one, and then anti-aging. Of course, like we realize we will need a lot of help.
Awesome. And then what's your market research process like? I know it's a personalized skincare process, but what goes into developing, the whole back end where a customer can go to your site and say, here's what's going on, you guys flip it up on the back end?
So I would say that in terms of, let's take acne. We have developed, and we understand acne quite well because we spent many years doing the research on it. So we have developed a very simple quiz in principle that asks that we understand who the customer is. We give them only, I believe, 5 to 7 questions or so. That gets us the initial, we have understanding of acne. We know in general what products they should get and what's the formulation of that product that they should get. But the moment they get it, they start using it with the skin test and the app that they use. We then understand what's our initial guess correct, or were we off? Is the customer sort of responding to that treatment as we initially predicted? And if they're not responding, then we have an opportunity next month to change that formulation or even add or remove the product. For example, to give you like very simple example, we ask people, is your skin sensitive? Interestingly, people overestimate sensitivity of their skin. So we will see how they react to the product, and if their skin is truly sensitive, next we can advise them immediately. Use the product differently, like instead of twice a day, use it once a day or every other day. And next month we send them a product that is more formulated for very sensitive skin.
Amazing. Well, I wish you guys all the best. I'm excited to see where you guys land because there's such a need in this market for personalized skincare. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great job, Lada. I'm interested in trying out your products myself. My first question is around the pricing of your subscriptions. Could you break that down for me and talk a little bit about your profit margins there?
So we offer to customers 2 things. They can sign up for subscription, which is a little cheaper, and they can buy one time product without subscription. Subscription is typically 20% cheaper. We based on the skin test results as well as what the customer wants, we recommend the products to the customer, and they have ability to then choose which product they want. We recommend them something, but we don't force it. If you already have your favorite cleanser, keep using it. So our on average, our average order value is a little below $60 on subscription, and that consists on a number of products. In terms of profit, margin on manufacturing, our margin is above 85%, but our gross margin that takes into account everything else is, I think last quarter was above 66%.
Awesome.
That it includes shipping and, the warehouse, all of that.
Understood. Understood. Thank you. And then you mentioned fundraising, right? So what does your next round need to look like? And, what metrics will you be able to achieve? What growth can you achieve with that raise?
So our goal would be to raise $5 million or $5 million plus. We are at 2.5 million. We would like to be within a year at 5 and within another year at $10 million.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
Hello. Great job, Lada. Incredible business.
Thank you.
And great pitch. You talked about, wanting to be a real omni-channel brand as you move into the future. I'm curious how you think about that mix between like direct to consumer and omni-channel, if you think it'll be 50-50 or how you think about where that'll land.
So we don't know, but we believe that in order to grow and grow significantly, you need to be where customer is. So we started DTC. Online is the best way to start. You get direct feedback from customers. You understand very, very quickly what the customer wants. So I can give you an example. When we started with 4 product categories: the cleanser, the treatment, the supplement, and spot treatment. And we learned very quickly from our customers that we are missing missing, or we have opportunities to add products. The first product we were able to add was moisturizer. So the way how we learned it, because our customers were asking us, what moisturizer should I use? So we developed a moisturizer, and that moisturizer actually got that Cosmopolitan Acne Award.
Oh, wow.
And next thing we learned is that people, we know it, but we did not know what the demand would be for that. That people have not only face acne, they also have body acne. So our next product that we are launching to market is body spray for acne. So all of this helps us understand the customer, understand where they are, how it is working for them. And that really helps us go to retail, where we, of course, would work with our retailers to figure out what kind of assortment would go into retail. In terms of wholesale, we are being approached by estheticians that they are very interested in these microbiome-based, more cleaner and more natural products for their customers. So we don't know exactly what the assortment, what the breakout is going to be at the end. We started DTC, but we believe to truly grow, we need to be also in retail. We need to take every opportunity we have to be where the customer is.
Yeah, that's a great strategy, and I totally agree with you. I'm actually going to cap my questions there because I know we're tight on time, but this has been super informative. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lada. That was an incredible pitch, and again, amazing Q&A from our judges. So we have one last finalist today, last but certainly not least, Daniela Chevelle. So take it away.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm Daniela. I am the CEO, founder, and shoe designer at Daniela Chevelle. And I wanted to start at the beginning. So prior to launching my dream of starting a shoe brand, I was in the digital marketing side of corporate fashion for over 8 years before deciding the time was now. And so January 23rd, 2018, which you can see here, my mom, who kindly accompanied me on the trip, we went to Italy, and we were going to factory after factory to find someone that obviously would take the risk on me and agreed to work with me. I had no design background. I had no wholesale strategy or partners. I was selling them a whole new model in terms of direct-to-consumer shoe selling, and some sketches and big dreams on a piece of paper. So I mention this because I think it just sets the tone in terms of where we were and where we've come. So a little bit about us. The business has been going for 3 years. We are direct to consumer, so we sell online through my website. And then I opened our first brick and mortar store in the West Village here in New York City just over 2.5 months ago. And our pairs are made in Italy and Brazil. I founded the brand from also having my own struggle in terms of working in corporate fashion and trying to find shoes that were comfortable and well made. My mom also, which we see a lot with our clients, from wearing very uncomfortable shoes when you're much younger, you have a lot of damage to your feet and do a lot of damage to your feet later on. So my mom was always a big proponent of making sure that I wore comfortable shoes growing up. And so I wanted to solve that. And if you think too, and just in terms of your top shoe designers, they're all men. They make beautiful shoes, but there's a huge opportunity here as well in terms of, I think, having it come from a woman's perspective. And so really that was what the brand has been founded on. And so we're a women's footwear brand focused on functional luxury. We are obsessed with comfort and marrying that with beautiful and unique design. And through our direct pricing, we provide a superior product without the wholesale markup, saving our clients up to 50% off retail. As far as the team, I don't have a team slide. So the team right now, I have my 2 store managers at our New York City store location. I have an outside agency doing our digital marketing, running our paid ads. And then I have a consultant who consults with me monthly on our technical design stuff. So I am doing everything from customer service, photo shoots, styling. So as we scale now, I'm very much so looking forward to getting a bit more out of the weeds. But as far as the team, you're looking at her. So in terms of our styles and product offering, we have our core styles. For example, you'll see a lot through this presentation. Our Belladonna boot was one of the first styles. It's that colorful lace-up bootie. And we continue to do reorders on those core styles. And then we also do drops of just 2 to 3, well, maybe even, more so 1 to 2 styles every 3 months. So there's newness coming. And it also just kind of keeps, as well as a very focused merchandising plan. Obviously, we're not kind of risking over investing too much in too many different styles. And our customers also love it. They know that it's very engaging for them. They know that what is, that kind of next product going to be in the next 3 months. So I guess probably the next question you're wondering is also, how do we achieve this comfort? So it all first starts with the product design and materials. As far as the designs go, we add extra memory foam padding to all of our shoes. I do much thicker, sturdier, chunkier heels. I will never do a very skinny, thin heel. That's just not what we do. And then we are obviously sourcing top quality materials, very soft leathers. And then really the art in terms of making a shoe comfortable and beautiful is not an easy thing to achieve. And so we focus a lot also just in terms of, especially now that I have a technical designer, there's a lot that goes into that shoe mold in terms of the touch points, providing more even weight distribution. And, all of that is the validation that we've seen now, especially having a store, as the customer tries that on and says, oh my God, this 3-inch heel feels so comfortable, is really paying off. Sustainability is a focus, certainly in that we're selling investment pairs. We're not about selling shoes that you're going to throw away in 2 to 3 years. And so that is a big part of what we're based on. We also work with a partner called Souls for Souls. So if you donate any of your old pairs from any brand, in order to try and extend the life of those shoes, we then give you store credit. And we do have some vegan options. And obviously, we're in fashion. It's not a perfect, certainly not a very sustainable situation. But where we can, we've tested cactus leather. And I think, as the technology gets there, to be honest, it's not there yet. We're ready to move on that. I dream of the day when we can have some mushroom leather shoes. And then finally, our artisans and our factory partners are very key to our success. So I've managed to, build these strong relationships. We've also luckily been able to work with our factories and actually now do smaller orders upfront, test the product, see what their kind of traction is, and then do a reorder with, of more with more pairs, because obviously the exposure for me and just kind of mitigating that risk of being stuck with inventory and having to go to markdowns can crush a business, especially in the early stages. And then our competitive landscape. So I think there's 3 things that we are kind of marrying together. So the first one is obviously our comfort focus, that we are considered designer, and then obviously our price point. So if you think of your comfort shoe brands, your Birkenstocks, Crocs, not very designer, not very sexy. And, in terms of price points, we're obviously very different in that sense. So we kind of then win in terms of the comfort, but then obviously at a designer level. And then we do consider ourselves competing at your Jimmy Choo, Christian Louboutin level, but obviously at a price point that is much less because we are going direct. And another way to kind of look at this too is if you look, for example, at Stuart Weitzman, who I would consider probably our closest competitor. Here you can see that while we are also probably a little bit more designer, we really drive home and want to own in the minds of our customer that we are comfort first. So you're going to put on that pair and you're not going to have to worry about how it's going to feel or hurt your feet. So bringing all those things together, obviously I think is the secret sauce. And then also at that price point too, there's a lot of perceived value. Many of our clients, they're buying Gucci, they're buying Schnell. But the feedback too, when they suddenly look at the price and then say, oh my gosh, this is like half the price of my Schnells, but I'm getting the same thing, is very exciting. And I think they really do value that value for money. Our clients say it best for sure. So here are some. They comment a lot on obviously the fit, the comfort, the padding, but then also this beautiful design and the merchandising. Our design also is obviously very unique, and I think we've done a good job in terms of standing out in a very saturated market. And I think you can see here from I think Sharon, my 11th pair. I mean, one thing about women too is when they find a brand that fits them well as far as their feet, they become pretty brand loyal because they just know exactly how those shoes are going to fit every single time. In terms of market size, globally, obviously, you know, the luxury the luxury footwear market is big. But for me, I kind of bring it down to, in terms of looking at it also from where I started. So if you look at like the labor force participation rate for women and how it's climbed and continues to climb, and it's just like me when I was working, and suddenly comfort in a shoe was so much more important because I was working. And so there's increased buying power as far as women and this comfort focus. I certainly think that obviously the market size, there's huge opportunity. And also, I don't think we should limit it to, in terms of, there is obviously this idea in terms of household income and buying at this higher price point. But also, you know, what we've seen too is that people who, you know, through paying in installments or saving up for these shoes because they're an investment, they're actually willing to do it because they know that they're going to last. So traction year to date, we are up 154% from last year. We are on track to do 1.5 million in sales as far as gross sales. And the split between online and store is 75% online, 25% in store. And our online itself is up 99% year over year. And just over the past 2.5 months of adding that one retail location, we've, you know, added an incremental 100,000 in sales. And that store itself is also operating profitably, which is wonderful. In terms of our business metrics, AOV is 545. Our landed cost gross margin is 72%. One nice thing about this also is, as we grow and we are able to order in larger order quantities, we get more price breaks with our factories. So I do predict that those margins could go up, you know, by 2 to 4% as we grow. Our repeat customer rate currently is at 23%. And then our email, as far as active daily email subscribers over the last 60 days, is 50,000, and our return rate is 26.3%. Industry average for shoes is around 35 to 40, and then our CAC for new customers is $209. I want to highlight the online growth and digital marketing side too, because that is obviously my background, and I think where I've obviously brought a lot of expertise to kind of help scale the business. So from the paid digital side, we are, you know, above average in terms of our returns, and, you know, making money, as you can see, based on our break-even ROAS. And then email as well, which I also did in another life, also has been, it's driving around, you know, close to 38 to 40% of our revenue, with some strong open rates and strong metrics there as well. So we are constantly, you know, growing that list, as well as our SMS list. And then for our New York City store, I think the big takeaway here for me is, well, one, it's, you know, it's been great. It's exceeding expectations. I wasn't too sure going into it what would happen, but really that we've scratched the surface. So for the last 2.5 months, what you're seeing driven here is foot traffic. It's people looking in the windows, seeing the boots and the colors and coming in and then converting. And also for sure, there's obviously this halo effect that I think just will continue to go on, because then they go online too, and they get in our system and they get in that customer journey flow. So we've done no marketing, no press around this. So certainly the opportunity and upside as far as the retail location and then expanding that is big for us. So what's coming next? Online, I think obviously we're going to just continue to optimize growing those lists. Also, a big thing is because as we, you know, put out more products, there's more opportunity to cross-sell, upsell, drive repeat business. And then also celebrity and press, I think, is an investment now that we have the cash flow to push a little bit more. Retail, based on the success that we're seeing, and we kind of are predicting about $1 million per store, is to open another 5 stores over the next 1 to 3 years in, you know, key metro cities where we know we have the data and that customer. And then dropship is an exciting opportunity that we are engaging in over the next 1 to 2 months. So we are looking to partner with 2 larger wholesale partners just on a dropship basis. they would take a 30% fee. So if you compare even that just to kind of what our customer acquisition cost is, there's no other marketing cost to us, nothing. It's basically you're on Saks.com and you could buy a pair of Daniela Cheval shoes. We think that the upside and just getting the brand out there more, getting people to try the product more is going to be obviously a game changer for us as well, and just have a trickle down effect. And then international is probably also the next thing that we would like to get to and see opportunity, probably in areas like Dubai, London, where there is an appetite for luxury and high buying power. So what to exceed over the next 3 to 4 years? I would love to get us to 12 million in annual revenue with a greater than 20% EBITDA margin. How we're going to get there online, I think we can pretty comfortably grow to 5 million at a compound average growth rate of 42%, which I think is conservative based on what we've already seen. Retail, adding our 5 stores, 5 million, and then the dropship opportunity of 2 million. From a funding perspective, certainly it's a concern in terms of we need to have the capital to actually invest in the inventory, and usually that's probably 6 months ahead as far as we're planning. So debt instruments, Clearco are certainly all on the table as far as what we're going to need. And then as far as raising money at this point, I think we would only consider it if it was strategically beneficial. And thank you so much.
Daniela, thank you. I was looking at your product online and I am obsessed with the Maui sandal. I'm looking at it. I love the fluorescent. You have an incredible product line. I'm going to bring on the judges now to ask their Q&A. So Tiffany, you're up first.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tori. Daniela, phenomenal growth, year-over-year growth. You had 98% year-over-year growth. That's amazing. I'm not too familiar with the shoe industry, but what I do want to mention is that I do love the diversity of your sales channels. I think that's critical for you to tap into each of the sales channels to continue increasing that growth. In terms of your competitive advantage, what is your unfair advantage?
Sorry, say it again, Tiffany, you're echoing.
What is your unfair advantage?
My unfair advantage?
Yeah.
What do you mean by unfair advantage?
Compared to your competitors. So what is your competitive advantage compared to your competitors? And where do you think you're lacking in terms of the competitors in your range?
So, I mean, our competitive advantage for sure, I think, is the comfort and fit. As far as what we provide and what we message and focus on. And then I think, so, and the second part was?
What is your unfair advantage? So where do you see opportunities for growth?
I think it's mostly just extending and growing the product line. So we have 22 styles. So, obviously these other guys have ranges of much bigger product lines. So it's really just kind of as time goes on as we grow into that. And then certainly as we get bigger too, it's just getting economies of scale in terms of being able to get better pricing.
Awesome. Well, all the best to you, and I'm wishing you so much success in your venture.
Great job, Daniela. Amazing pitch. You mentioned one of your goals is to expand to 5 additional metro locations. Could you break down what those locations are and your reasoning for those in particular?
Yeah, so I mean, we obviously have great data on the back end too. So we know LA, San Francisco, a lot of cities also where women are very mobile and going back and forth. So I think those metro cities like that, I think, would be kind of the natural way to go first, and Miami.
Understood. And then you mentioned from a fundraising aspect, you would only want to raise from strategic investors, right? Would you consider raising a community round? It's something I've seen is becoming a little bit more popular with consumer brands. Would you be open to raising, an equity investment from your customers, essentially?
I think maybe I think we'd probably first prioritize, and kind of go where we are and get the funding through Clearco and not give up too much equity in the beginning. But yes, eventually for sure, we certainly, and I, you know, with the storefront too, and that we certainly, once people have tried the product, I think we're certainly kind of inadvertently getting eyes on the brand, which eventually when we're ready to do that, we certainly, yeah, I think we certainly could. But from a strategic standpoint, I think for me, as far as giving up equity, it would be important that there is some kind of, are they bringing us new customers? Are we, you know, going into another one of their stores, so that it would be much more aligned.
Understood. Thank you very much. Great job.
Hey, Daniela, great business, great pitch. Really enjoyed hearing about it. I'm interested in clicking in a little bit on the retail stores. It looked like your long-term, medium, long-term vision is roughly 50-50 between D2C and retail stores. And I guess my two questions are, one, how do you think about the economics of the retail store? It seems like it would probably be a pretty big upfront investment. And are you willing to take a loss on the upfront investment for the payoff? Is that sort of how it works for you? And I'm just going to say the second question now, if you can remember them, which is, I didn't see, although maybe I missed it, wholesale somewhere like Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, et cetera. Are you thinking of avoiding wholesale and doing only owned e-com and owned brick and mortar?
Great question. So from the retail side, so Melanie, believe it or not, as far as just even getting this store open, I actually had to front $10,000. I got very scrappy in terms of what we did. So what I've priced out as far as we open, you know, newer stores, and we'd probably have more things built out and everything else, is probably around $25,000 as far as an upfront cost for each store. So it's actually, it's not crazy. Yeah. And then exactly as we're kind of working with that EBITDA margin and breaking even and getting profitable, really over that 20, even like the monthly cost of 25,000 is pretty fast. And then from the wholesale side, you know, COVID, I will say when I first launched the brand, there was a big appetite to, yes, this is going to help if I can just get in a Nordstrom and just, you know, get there, even if it's a break even. But like through COVID and how the retail industry has changed, I'm a little bit more nervous of it, to be honest. So I think we're going to test the waters as far as the drop ship and see how that goes. Yeah, and so I think trying to stay away from it for as long as we can is actually counter to what I wanted. But if COVID's taught me anything, it's been that.
I get it. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hi, Daniela.
Hi, Eric.
So my wife and I discovered your brand in the conservatory in Hudson Yards Mall, and we love your founder story. I think you've done a really, really awesome job on the website, telling your story. It's very personable. You feel like you've done a really awesome job bringing in a new customer into your world, into your journey. And I would continue on with that. I think that's the right direction, and you're very, very marketable as a founder. And I can't believe you've done all this yourself, basically with a tiny team of one. So congratulations. You've got obviously a lot of growth ahead of you, but you're probably going to have a lot of bumps ahead of you as well as you navigate retail versus online versus ambassadors. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about is your ambassador model. So the website talks about signing up to be an ambassador. I understand those businesses and how ambassadors work, and that could be the entire business is just doing millions of dollars with an ambassador network of thousands. You know, your army out there representing the brand, making their commission. How do you deal with the challenge that most ambassador models that I know in CPG do not also have to compete with the products being sold in retail? How has that come up yet?
No, and you know, I'll be honest, Eric, we have that section on the website, and I think I probably get a lot more, you know, messages through our personal, you know, through my Instagram as far as, you know, influencers or wanting to wear the product. And I just haven't seen I haven't seen a return on when I have done it. So to be honest, it's become a lot less of a focus, and I think more moving towards an investment as far as the celebrity press side.
Okay, that certainly helps clear that up, because there could be issues down the road as they collide. And then the second question, I know we don't have a lot of time, so this is probably a quicker one. We're obviously interested in the vegan products you have, which is awesome. Kudos to you for taking that risk and putting it out there. I noticed, though, they're all sold out for the most part on your website. Is it sold out because you only had a limited amount, or is it sold out because they do much better than the other products?
it's sold out because we had a limited amount. So we have to do a reorder on that, but we didn't do a huge amount. I'll be honest, it's also after launching the vegan side of it, again, it's part of me is like, you're putting out plastic. Is it more sustainable? Our leathers, as far as being, from a cruelty standpoint, are 100% byproduct of the meat industry. And then from the vegan standpoint, the feel and texture, which is what we're based on, it's very hard with vegan stiff leather to get there. So I've actually moved a little bit away from the vegan side, as far as until we can kind of get that technology in terms of a cactus leather, a mushroom leather, that's a little bit more supple.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, and good luck, and wish you the best in everything you've got going on ahead of you. It's going to be a great ride and journey.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Eric. Daniela, I'm going to keep you on the stage, and I'm going to bring back the JMP team and also Dermala. Amazing. Okay, great. So all of our finalists are here on stage. Our judges are in the back end. They are deliberating. It is a very hard decision. It always is. Thank you all for pitching today. It was wonderful to hear all of your stories. I'm just going to repeat what the finalists today will win when they are crowned the winner. So you'll be receiving $10,000 in cash from Clearco. We're also offering a credit on top of a capital advance if you choose to take that, as well as access to data-driven agency and partner recommendations, as well as our benchmarking and insights. From FounderMade, who is co-hosting the event with us, you'll be featured in brand spotlights across FounderMade's marketing channels, VIP ticket and gift bag for FounderMade's Discovery Show East, and a 5x12 booth at FounderMade's Discovery Show West, which is happening in September. So incredible prizes. Oh, and 4 tickets to the Discovery Show West for you and your team. So still in deliberation, but I'm going to ask each of you, if you were to win the cash prize today, I know we've mentioned it, what would you put it towards? So Daniela, we'll start with you.
Oh, my first full-time hire, for sure.
Oh, great. It's wild that you're doing it solo and independent. I mean, like, absolute kudos to you. We all know how difficult it is, but it's a huge accomplishment. That was an easy answer. JMP team, who wants to take that question? What will you do with the prize dollars?
Jamie, Juliet, you want to?
I mean, I think it's marketing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Marketing.
got to go with marketing.
Yeah, that's great. Can't go wrong with marketing. Tons of new channels to explore too. It's a great answer. And Lotta, what about you?
We would put it into product development. We have like so many opportunities in this microbiome space. We started to look into anti-aging. So we would, $10,000 would be pretty significant in terms of product development and formulation of new products. Incredible.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone. There's a lot of conversation happening in the private chat. And I believe we have a winner. But I'm gonna give them another second just to be sure. And I'm gonna go around and say, Daniela, I'm gonna ask you first, what I guess was your favorite part about pitching today?
I think the questions, for sure. It's always nice, especially being a bit solo, is to hear kind of how other people are thinking and seeing the business from an outside in. Yeah,
no, that's great. And the Q&A is not easy. So congrats to everyone here to be able to answer those questions. I know that it definitely can be a little nerve-wracking, but everyone here did a very good job with them. Lotta, what about you? What makes you excited to be pitching today?
It was really great to be part of this. To be selected is like really amazing. That's what I would say.
Yeah, the little wins, they all add up, right? And JMP team, there's 3 of you, so let me know who wants to answer this. What made you excited to be here today? Great, Juliet, I'd love to hear it.
I'm so grateful that we were able to be here. I'm also grateful we were able to, tell people about our company. I think we're really proud of what we created, and we hope other people love it too. And I got to learn so much. I think it was really interesting speaking to the judges, getting their feedback and getting some advice. So it's been awesome.
Great answer. That's awesome. Let me check this chat again. We got our finalists. We have our winner. Okay, judges, welcome back to the stage. We're gonna have a full table here. Silk, are we? There we go. There we go. We got everyone coming on stage. And Melanie, Travis, we are going to invite you to announce the winner for us.
Well, this was really, really hard. I wish I could recap the furious typing that was happening behind the scenes as it was really hard, and it was going back and forth because really, truly incredible businesses all around, great pitches. I think Tori and the other Clearco people can vouch for the fact that we were like, then this, then this. So truly all great. But ultimately we are awarding the winner to Daniela with her business.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
It's amazing. Again, I don't know if any judges want to weigh in on the whys here. Maybe Eric, I know you always have some great things to say.
Clearly all three are winners, else they wouldn't be here today. So I think it was awesome for everybody to be here. You're all winners, but I think in terms of the overall help, if it was my perspective, I think Danielle is a solo female founder, a kind of a team of one, does need a lot of help and support. And so I hope that this award and this win really is a big thing to kick her business off even stronger.
Amazing. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, judges. Thank you, finalists. I will be in touch. Everyone does win something at the end of this. So you will be hearing from me and my team. But it was incredible to have you here today. We really hope to stay in touch and watch you grow your brands.
Thank you so much for having us.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.